Autopsy doctors. What was the biggest revelation you had to a person's death after you carried out the procedure? I've been a forensic pathologist for 23 years. It was a Tuesday morning when they wheeled in Daniel Foster, 45 years old, seemingly healthy guy who collapsed during his morning jog. His wife found him face down on the sidewalk 3 blocks from their house. No external trauma, no signs of struggle, just another sudden cardiac death. Or so I thought. Daniel's medical records showed he was in great shape. Regular checkups, low cholesterol, normal blood pressure. The only thing that stood out was a pacemaker he'd gotten 3 years ago after some fainting episodes. Pretty routine stuff for someone his age. I started the autopsy expecting to find the usual suspects. Blocked arteries, enlarged heart, maybe an undiagnosed condition. But Daniel's heart looked perfect. No blockages, no scarring, nothing that should have killed him. That's when I noticed something weird about the pacemaker. Most devices have clear manufacturer markings, serial numbers, the works. This one just had a code that didn't match anything in our database. I figured it was a clerical error and kept going. But then I found the burn marks. They were tiny, almost microscopic, scattered across his heart tissue. I'd never seen anything like them. They weren't from natural heart failure or even electrical malfunction. These were deliberate, precise burns. I called the pacemaker company using the code from the device. After getting transferred 5 times, someone finally told me they had no record of that serial number. It wasn't one of theirs. That's when things got really strange. I decided to pull the data from the pacemaker itself. These new devices record everything: heart rhythm, battery levels, even remote access attempts. What I found made my blood run cold. 3 days before Daniel died, someone had remotely accessed his pacemaker, not once, but 17 times. The logs showed multiple diagnostic checks at all hours of the night. Then, at exactly 5:14 a.m. on the day he died, someone issued a shock override command. The device had delivered a massive electrical surge directly to his heart, enough to stop it instantly. I immediately called Daniel's wife, Lisa. She broke down crying when I asked about the pacemaker. She told me Daniel had been terrified in the weeks before his death. He was supposed to testify in a federal case against Apex Medical Technologies, the company that made experimental heart devices. Daniel was their former quality control manager. He discovered they were testing unregistered pacemakers on patients without their knowledge. When he tried to blow the whistle, they fired him and threatened lawsuits. But Daniel had kept copies of everything. The pacemaker in his chest wasn't medical equipment. It was a prototype weapon disguised as a life-saving device. Someone had used it to murder him remotely, making it look like natural causes. I tested the device in my lab. When I sent the same signal that killed Daniel, the pacemaker generated enough electricity to power a small light bulb. It was designed to kill, not heal. My findings triggered the biggest medical device scandal in decades. The FBI raided Apex Medical Technologies and found evidence of a conspiracy involving corrupt doctors, hospital administrators, and government officials. They'd been using patients as test subjects for military-grade cardiac weapons. Daniel's testimony wasn't needed anymore. His pacemaker told the whole story. 12 executives were arrested, including the CEO, who personally authorized Daniel's murder. The company paid out $800 million in settlements to victims' families. But here's what still keeps me up at night. We found 43 other people with the same prototype pacemakers. All of them had died of sudden cardiac arrest in the past 2 years. All of them had been scheduled to testify against Apex Medical Technologies. Their deaths would have gone unnoticed if I hadn't found those tiny burn marks.